Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Legacy of the Rimlen. We took a break last week. We'll probably do so next week again for funnily enough, kind of similar reasons, which we won't get into. But yeah, for now, we are here and we are back and we are ready to see, as usual, the consequences of the actions that these three lovely people undertake. And before we get into them, real brief, you'll notice me and Dely look slightly different. Dely, I'll let you tell the story of your profile picture, but like just to real brief summarize mine. Dely drew mine, and I thought it was real cute, so I'm using it. That's the long and the short of it. Dely, feel free to what's the word? Talk, I guess. Elaborate, yeah, about yours.
Yeah. I'm glad you like yours, by the way. It was fun to draw. Yeah, mine is my Halloween costume, like me in my Halloween costume, basically. The lovely Milo and V1 on Twitter drew it. They're like amazing and like a really talented artist. Also, like another Twitch goblin. So yeah,
awesome. But yeah. That's why this intro screen looks slightly different. But moving on, let's, as usual, have our players introduce themselves and their characters. The dice say that we should start, apparently, with Show&Tell first. Show&Tell, could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Yes. Hi, I'm Show&Tell, and I'll be playing as Anghel. Who's a mute peasant boy and currently a little drunk, a little stinky, and also has a lot of knowledge about people that Adela slept with, apparently. I don't know what he does with that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's I think of all things that maybe could have happened, I think that's the last thing Anghel was expecting to find out.
Yeah.
Two brief things that are also related to the gameplay itself. First of all, we sort of missed it last week, but on the 25th of September, right? 25th was Show&Tell's birthday. So happy birthday, Show&Tell.
Yeah, thanks.
Happy birthday!
happy birthday!
Thank you.
And as is tradition, Show&Tell will get her birthday inspiration that she can use or keep for however long she wants. Second detail, I mentioned this off screen, but I keep forgetting to bring it up in on the record, so I'll do it now, which will be perhaps particularly relevant for this session. As you all know, Anghel has been gathering a bit of an involuntary posse, as we like to call it, and I proposed, and Show&Tell said that she would be agreeable to this, that since having a bunch of NPCs in combat can be tedious, we are more or less gonna say that, Angel's group is around but not directly participating in combat, unless Anghel tells them individually to do that. But at that point, they also become legitimate targets of potential enemies. Good news on that front is though that each member of the posse, again I love that term, has their own special ability. Always Firsty's ability to drink almost infinitely, Good Eye's ability to spot things that are very situational but can nevertheless be useful. So yeah, they're not just generic mooks, but again, to not bog down combat, we will mostly delegate them to a background role unless Show&Tell decides to directly involve them. Yeah, go ahead.
So if Anghel asks Good Eye to look at something or something like that, that involves him in the combat?
Yes and no. If you just tell Good Eye, hey Good Eye, what color is that brick? that's not involving Good Eye in combat. But if you can tell Good Eye, hey Good Eye, take a look at that enemy's aspects, that would be involving him in combat.
Oh, aspects. But like if it's something related to the enemy's, I don't know, appearance. Oh, I guess it doesn't affect game mechanics though?
Yeah, let's make the ruling right now. I propose that you can ask Good Eye to like provide you with information as long as it's not related to gameplay mechanics.
Okay, got it.
Okay. And just to clarify, does everything else make sense, Show&Tell?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And thank you for introducing yourself once again. And next person in line, according to the dice, we would have Ashen. Ashen, could you please introduce yourself and your character?
Yes. Hello, I'm Ash, and I'm playing Illona. And last time she was very mad, very sad, punching a tree. And then she was very baffled about receiving a list of a lot of people that she didn't really want to know. But now that she knows, she's like, yeah, this is worth it. And, I mean, she's happier now. It boosted her.
Interesting. Happy isn't the emotion I expected, but interesting.
She's so happy right now.
I guess Illona does love her gossip, I guess. But yeah, we'll get into the list later in the recap. But thank you very, very much, Ashen. I almost said Illona there. Next, according to the dice, and well, obviously, would be Dely. Could you please go ahead and introduce yourself and your character?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Dely. And as usual, I'm playing as Muninn. They are a traveling scholar from Brightland. Currently a bit naughty, probably deserves a slap on the wrist. As they burn down a whole library of books just because some crazy god told them to do it in their head. Wacky, crazy, right? Like,
Happens to the best of us.
yeah.
Just to recap, this is one of the like largest repositories of books in this country. Just to recap.
Yes. So, yeah. They're not. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Muninn didn't do it just on a whim. Let's put it that way, and we'll explain more in detail in the recap itself. Thank you very, very much, Dely. So, as we get into what happened last time, the party briefly reunited after Muninn had their talk with one noblewoman named Adela, and Muninn, after noticing something about Illona, gave Illona and Anghel a list of, well, people that Adela has slept with. I don't recall Dely why Muninn did that, but either way they did. And
To make them feel better, I think.
And I think and Always Thirsty asked Muninn, hey, can you like spot me some money to like buy a couple drinks? Muninn, because they failed a clever roll, gave a bunch of money, and now the party has about 30 barrels of wine. Good luck transporting that. And Muninn later departed, feeling very upset about this. Illona was very upset as well, and Illona proceeded to, as Ashen said, punch a tree. Anghel was not very happy about this decision either, and proceeded to drink somewhat. And
Not only because of this. Okay.
True. But yeah, Muninn then went to talk to the monk that's like the second in command of the monastery you guys are currently at, to finally demand stuff of that monk. And the demands were, give me access to your library of books, and let's meet up in like an hour in front of the monastery so that we can go solve the like tree issue. Muninn was admitted to the scriptorium, that's the like technical term, where a slave offered to be Muninn's guide, but Muninn shooed them away. The slave is currently arguing with Always Thirsty because they mistook the barrels of wine as belonging to someone else. Either way, Muninn somewhat previously got a somewhat garbled, would message be the right term? Sure. Let's use message. Even though it was a two-way conversation, from a familiar god named Akesius, who more or less promised, hey, we'll let bygones be bygones, and like, I'll help you again if you just like tip over a candle and burn this whole place down. And Muninn did, without too much hesitation, being honest. And before they did, they got a fancy, well, not fancy, it's actually kind of crappy looking, but it's a very old book, covering the subject of like ancient demons. At least that's what the title says. And Muninn got out of the scriptorium before they like were at risk of being engulfed in flames, but because that building is full of like dusty, dry, old books, the fire has spread pretty rapidly, to the point that now, as Anghel and Illona themselves are smelling a bit of smoke as Muninn comes out of the building. So that's more or less where we left off on the last session. So, as I turn on the background music, dear players, this is more or less a combat encounter, for lack of a better term, in the sense that the fire will attempt to burn stuff, obviously, and you guys obviously have the option of combating the fire or doing nothing. That's also perfectly fine, and obviously your decisions will matter, I suppose. So I hope you guys will be able to hear the background music, and as I direct your attention to the map, you can see it's slightly changed, and it will likely change further. So
oh,
first things first, before we get into like the turn order, let's like briefly recap where everyone is, like all the player characters are. Let's go, I guess, Dely first and Anghel and Illona second, because Anghel and Illona are together. Muninn, you just came out of the library. You weren't spotted by any monks because you didn't like loiter very much, and that's why I didn't. And you also rolled pretty well on your sneakies. And as you exited the scriptorium, or like cool people don't look at explosion style, you can tell that the smoke is getting pretty strong, and well, I guess what's going on from Muninn's mind?
As far as Muninn's mind, they're kind of remorseful in a way, like having not so much like, yeah, do you know what? They're a little bit remorseful. Like, I was gonna say like, oh, remorseful burning down the library, but not so much burning down the library because there's people in it.
Yeah,
maybe it's safe to say that they are remorseful because there are people in the library, but at the same time, like, the ends justify the means. So as far as a play, like as far as like a turn, like would it be my
not your turn yet? Not your turn
okay.
Yet. You can see you guys can see the turn order in the like purple rectangle in the like bottom right-ish. This is just like a bit of a warm-up before the actual quote-unquote combat begins, to like see where everyone is like in their headspace and all that.
Okay. The only other thing I would say, Muninn, so ends justify the means. Muninn also does not want to get caught in doing what they just did, but they feel confident that they won't be. You know, or at least they won't be blamed for it.
Fair.
Maybe overconfident.
And yeah, to like emphasize what you said, I do remember last session the thought of people burning. I don't think Dely, you ever mentioned that once during like Muninn's actions last session. Muninn, I think, mostly hesitated last time because of the idea of the books burning, so it's consistent.
Yeah. The only person that they cared about was that guy that they told to get outside, I think.
Sure.
At least originally.
Yep. Sure. Anything else to add before I ask the other two players what their characters are doing?
No, I think that's it.
Sure. Ashen, are you with us? Going once, going twice. Okay. Show and tell. To like briefly recap where Anghel was at. Think Anghel was still. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Anghel was still in like his headspace, feeling not very happy about how things are going, and then they smelled smoke. Turned around and like looked behind the tree. They were like, what's the word, like, I guess standing next to, for lack of a better term, and they see this building like just like leaking smoke almost, and Muninn walking out of it. Like, again, cool people don't look at explosion style.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So what's going on with Anghel? Like, not what they're doing necessarily, but like what they're thinking, what do they intend to do, etc.
I think the first thought is kind of like panic, realizing that, something's burning. It's a lot of smoke, right? Does he see the fire, or is it just smoke?
Just smoke for now. Yes, it's I'd say it's a lot of smoke because it's coming out of the windows and the like front entrance, and it's a multi-story building.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, that's worrying, and seeing Muninn, I'm trying to think if it would like.
I guess
maybe his first thought is like, oh shit, like I need to warn Muninn or something. Yeah. Like he doesn't think. I don't know about that.
Welcome back, Ashen. Noted, Show and Tell. Dely, a question for you. This might inform like Show and Tell and Ashen's like how they play their characters. What's the like expression on Muninn's face?
Probably quite stern and stoic, because they've got a lot of emotions going through them.
Okay,
right now.
So from like a distance, it would just seem like Muninn's typical face from a distance.
Yeah, but they're trying to hide, like, because they have a lot of conflicting emotions about what's going on, so they're trying to hide it.
Ashen, welcome back, first of all. Second of all, I was asking everyone, like, what, just as a bit of a warm-up before we get into the actual quote-unquote combat, what everyone's characters are feeling, thinking, etc. For context, where we left off with Illona last session was Illona was still, well, kind of upset, and then she was happy about the list. and then she smelled a lot of smoke fairly suddenly, and she looked behind the tree where she was like standing next to, and saw this building, part of the monastic complex, just like, again, leaking smoke out of its windows and its front entrance, and Muninn coming out of it. Well, like, again, cool people don't look at explosion style. I've belabored that metaphor enough, but yeah. So what's Illona thinking and or intending to do?
She's worried most of all, and also like kind of confused as to why Muninn looks so cool about it. Like, she obviously wants to help if someone's like supposed to get hurt or something, like inside. So I think her instinct is to like rush there and make sure that Muninn is okay and that like the people that were inside is okay.
Ashen, may I offer you a compel?
Go for it.
And obviously you can refuse at the cost of a fate point, etc., etc. I would like to compel your running from a past life aspect, that seeing this fire maybe Illona's instinct isn't to help, it's to get the hell away, because one, you risk like being discovered, two, it's really none of your business. Illona's not an altruistic person, she's out for herself. What do you think?
I can totally buy that. Yes, I'm going for it.
Alright. I will pass you one of my fate points.
Ooh, shiny.
Okay, and Muninn, may I offer you a, I guess, similar compel?
Yes.
Namely, your is very distrusting and secretive. I would say, this is obviously me pitching it to you, I would say that perhaps Muninn's thoughts aren't, oh, I've got to help people, it's, oh, I've got to get away from here. I've got where I came from, I don't want to think about this damage that I've caused. I just want to get away, screw whomever may need help.
Yeah, Muninn would do that, I think. Yeah, definitely.
Here's your new fancy fate point.
Thank you.
Show&Tell, this isn't a compel, but you know what Anghel's instincts are probably saying.
Yeah, I know. I was left alone in the battle.
I feel sorry for Anghel. He must think that we're assholes. Well, Muninn, at least in this situation, is an asshole.
I don't know if you realize yet, but if Muninn is, I don't know, what did Muninn do something or just like is walking away?
I'm just walking. Sorry, Muninn's just walking away at the moment.
As far as Anghel knows, ha.
Yeah. But they won't. Obviously, they won't do anything to help. But Anghel, like, yeah, doesn't know that yet.
Mm-hmm.
I guess starting with the initiative, obviously, talking among each other, like either, like say, Ashen to Dely, or Illona to Muninn, that can happen whenever. You guys don't have to keep in mind the turn order to talk to each other. But to like start the round off, as you guys can see, there's a question mark on the map. May I get carefuls from all of you to see if you notice something?
Oh god. Okay.
Do I get?
It's a -1.
Oh my
What
god.
the hell? What happened? I guess the smoke got to him.
Yeah, you start like choking up on the smoke a little. To answer your question, Dely, I want to say yes because it's related to your surroundings, but I also want to say no because of the word analyzing. This careful roll is more of like passive perception rather than actively looking for something. So I'm leaning towards no, unless you have like an argument to convince me.
I get I can see your logic. I can see your reasoning. So I'll say no for the. I'll say no this time. As in, I won't use it this time.
Sure. Still feel free to roll a careful to see if you notice something.
Oh, I didn't need it anyway. I got a 6.
Okay. Well, good job. I guess I'll start with Illona to like inform her what she might notice. I guess the only thing I'll tell you, Illona, is like the fire is still inside the building, but for whatever reason, it's feeling like a bit warmer than usual out. It's a bit odd, given that the fire is like still contained inside the building, if that makes sense.
Ooh.
I see. Okay.
Oh, it's a Cassius, isn't it? Oh.
And Dely, because you got like that good of a careful roll, I might as well spill the whole freaking beans to you. I will inform you of... Yeah, I guess I'll inform you of 3 things. No, actually, just 2, because it's not a critical success. So I'll just tell you 2. But still, it's pretty good. First of all, yeah, you notice it's getting a lot hotter, a lot quicker, pretty suddenly. And it's very obvious that it's not because of the fire. It's kind of out of nowhere. You feel free to connect the dots, like have Muninn connect the dots as to, like, this happened remember when you were fighting the like core bands in New Spring when Arcesis made everything hotter.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Second thing that you notice, out of nowhere, there's like this weird northern wind that's oddly enough cold, and yet you still feel hot.
Okay, that's interesting.
And I will inform you, because of your rolls, these things will have gameplay implications from the next turn and from the turn after that.
I know exactly what's going to happen.
I doubt it, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not going to say anything then, because I might be wrong.
I mean, you can say it and be potentially vindicated, but your choice.
I was just thinking the wind is definitely going to make the fire a lot worse, but who knows? It could make it a lot better. Who knows?
Nah, I doubt it.
Yeah.
Sure. So, going in the initiative order, we start with Illona. Ashen, again, I compelled you that Illona's instinct is to GTFO. What do you do?
Question is if I still like just want to blast out of there, or just like somehow let Anghel and Muninn know what's going on for me, you know? I
am not compelling you to separate from your group. The compel was, and what you accepted, so I won't like change the wording, is that Illona's instinct is to run away. Now that does mean that Illona can stay and potentially help with the fire. It's just that she'll be like constantly fighting with herself, like mentally, because her instincts are telling her, no, we need to get away. What are you doing? This is stupid.
I see. Okay. So she would probably like mutter to herself and Anghel as well, like, oh fuck, what just happened here? And she would probably rise up and meet Muninn like halfway, because I guess they're coming here, right?
Yeah, towards Anghel. Yeah.
Also, you guys feel free to, you can click and drag your tokens on the map. Just don't do it too much, because we're still technically in combat, okay?
Yeah. And be like, what's all this? What happened now? Do we need to go? Should we go?
We should go.
Say no more. Really.
We need to,
already turning away again.
We need to leave, actually, as soon as we can.
Muninn, you hear a voice in your mind, a familiar voice of Arcesis. Flee into the woods, either direction. If you are pursued, you'll be protected.
Muninn would nod
Nice.
and say to everyone, if Anghel's in earshot as well, they would say, like, we need to get to the woods as soon as we can.
Illona would be, yeah, sounds like a plan. I'm with. Lead the way.
Okay.
So what do you do in terms of gameplay mechanics, Ashen, on your turn?
Move.
Sure. Obviously, you can skip your turn. You can create an advantage. I don't think there's anyone to like investigate the aspects of yet.
I think advantage. Is it only like aspect wise?
So creating an advantage, basically, I would ask you to inform you what do you do. Like, does Illona prepare to run faster, perhaps? In which case, I'd ask you to roll a quick to create an advantage. So go ahead.
I think I would go for like seeing who's around and who could potentially like follow us. You know,
Sure.
make a little like awareness check of the situation.
Give me a careful then, please.
Yes. A 2.
That is sufficient to create your advantage with one charge. Do you have a name for it?
360.
All right, fair enough.
No scope.
Okay, so to answer your question, like as to what other people are near you, obviously there's Anghel and Muninn. Always Thirsty and Good Eye and Anghel's, well, not kind of Anghel's, I guess, horse, are kind of staring in shock at the blaze going on at the moment. Raju, the slave that Illona you haven't met, who was arguing with Always Thirsty, is also staring in shock. It seems that Radu is like preparing to run in, presumably to rescue people. As to what other people are nearby, you see like some monks, villagers, and maybe a few slaves nearby, but not like in talking distance. You'd have to like shout to get to them, if that makes sense. And none of them are near the scriptorium itself. Make sense?
Alright, yeah.
And again, you have that advantage that you can use if you need to. That would be your turn, unless there's anything else, Ashen?
Nope.
Okay. Question mark will do something. Next will be Bob, who has been separated for you guys because he has been returning Adela's journal. I guess I'll move him closer because he'd be returning to you guys slowly, not realizing there's any danger. Munin's turn.
Oh no.
I think Muninn would try and make their way to the woods. As for their turn, so like that, I guess that would be movement. But as for their turn, could I spend? How would I do that?
My question first would be which woods, because there's woods in every cardinal direction, pretty much.
My instinct says the closest like entrance to the woods, but maybe like assuming that the tree that we're going to anyway is in the south, then Muninn might try and like, although looking at the map.
Oh yeah, the tree is to the south, southeast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Muninn is planning to go to the tree still.
Yeah, that's what would right or not? I feel like
I don't know. I mean, I could have
I feel like
shocked.
I feel like oh, that is interesting actually, because sorry, I just remembered. So we were gonna go see this tree, but the thing is that we agreed with the second that we would meet outside of this monastery
In like an hour from now.
Oh no. We can't leave a note saying, "Oh, hey, we went to the tree without you." Damn it. Okay.
Do remember your compel.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Do you know what? I'm not sure. I will probably.
Do you Deli potentially, just for this turn, because there's not that much combat happening in this turn, would you maybe like to switch places with Show&Tell for this turn only? Because that may inform Muninn's decision.
Yeah, sure. That'd be fine.
Show&Tell, are you fine with it?
Sure, but I mean, like Muninn is not allowed to help anyone, right? What was the compel exactly? That they should leave?
That they should, yeah, depart, yeah, without caring about potential rescue efforts.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, as far as Anghel, like, I think Anghel is a little bit shocked, and then he tries to.
I guess I'll say, Show&Tell, sorry to interrupt, just because I was waiting for your turn. You will hear the familiar voice of Always Thirsty say, "What do we do, my prince?"
Anghel looks at him, looks at the fire, looks at is someone that isn't walking away yet?
I feel like they are. I feel like they are, yeah. But like,
well, to be fair, we established that Muninn and Illona talked a little bit, and they weren't shouting at each other. We can say, and we can establish that Muninn moved in the direction of you guys somewhat.
Yeah. Like, I'm not leaving just yet.
I mean, Illona and Muninn are leaving together, right? That's what it sounded like?
Potentially. I mean, we talked about it, but that doesn't mean that we haven't. That doesn't mean that we've done it yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyway, I guess Anghel. I don't know if Muninn is looking at Anghel or not. So if not, Anghel's like, I guess, tugging at their cloak or something.
Oh, okay. Muninn would look to Anghel and say, like, "What is it? We need to go."
Anghel's super slow. It's like, what happened?
Never mind what happened. We have to leave.
But there's fire. We have to help.
We can't help, Anghel. We need to go. They're beyond saving.
No, but maybe there's someone we can help.
Anghel, helping them will risk you getting burnt. And how are you going to save your sister if you don't? If you get caught up in a fire?
You pull the sister card, huh?
Yeah, no. I feel awful for doing that, but it's probably the sort of thing that Muninn would do.
Anghel's like maybe caught off guard a little, but then he says, "I can't save my sister if we don't see." Like, I don't know how to put it. I don't know. He puts it with his fingers, but okay.
Yeah.
Like,
is it like...
I can face my sister if I let people die or something. I don't know, that sounded really lame, but do you get what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying, yeah. I don't know how to put that either, but I know what you're trying to say. Like, what is my, like, it's like, is saving my sister more important than saving, like, all these people?
How can I become Hokage if I can't save one friend?
Exactly.
Right.
Sorry.
I'm sure that reference I'm sure that works, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. In that case, Muninn would... I don't think Muninn would reply to that. And Muninn would... Obviously, that just means, like, above board, that just means I'm going to let you take your turn. Like, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay. So, I mean, okay, so... Anghel doesn't know at all what's happening. I mean, he doesn't realize that it's a crisis.
Definitely not with a -1.
So there's fire. Okay, so what he's gonna do is, I guess, go toward the fire. What would do? Oh, he's thirsty.
If you want a suggestion from me, you can roll me a clever, and I'll give you a suggestion.
A clever? Okay, we can try, but oh god, what happens if it's a failure though? Ooh, it's 3.
You will lose 1 real-life brain cell.
He doesn't have that many to begin with. That's a problem.
You think of always thirsty, but not super sure why, and you look next to always thirsty. Yeah, there's like 30 barrels of liquid.
There's beer.
Wine. Above board.
Wine.
Wine is not flammable above board.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It would be a very stinky way of extinguishing a fire, but it would be effective.
Sorry, did you say wine isn't flammable?
It is not, correct. It doesn't have like that enough alcohol in it to be flammable.
Okay.
Okay. That's good.
Obviously it's not as effective as water, but like the barrels are like more readily available.
Right.
So Anghel goes over to the barrel, one of them, and Gibbs picks it up and starts going as fast as he can toward the fire. And I don't know if the posse follows or what.
Always first he realizes that your idea and says, "Oh, good plan," and they will follow.
Oh,
along.
He does.
They will follow along, not picking up any barrels themselves unless you tell them to.
Oh my god.
Which is above board the above board thing I said. If you want them to be involved in the battle or not.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, yeah, I guess I have to because I'm alone. Okay. So Anghel will realize that they're following him, and then he'll turn and point at the other barrels or something. As much as you can point when you're carrying a barrel, but yeah.
How many members of your posse are you getting involved? You have Always Thirsty, Good Eye, and the horse. How many are...
Can we load the horse? Oh, I don't... It's not an ordinary horse, though.
Oh, sorry.
We don't have...
For context, the horse was helping carrying the barrels when Always Thirsty bought them.
Was he loaded with them? With a few? With a few of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'm involving the horse and Always Thirsty. Good Eye. Not for now. I guess. I don't know what he does, though.
Okay. Just above board, they will go in initiative order after you, Show&Tell, after Anghel. Just for simplicity's sake, I will have them assist you on their turns, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you'll get +2 to your rolls with them assisting you. Unless you want them to do something else and or the situation changes to the point where they should do something else. Okay?
Okay.
Since you switch places with Muninn for this turn only, what do you do in terms of game mechanics?
I guess, I don't know, like...
Just for context in terms of game mechanics, there is one enemy that you can fight against, like attack and all that, the fire, currently.
Uh-huh. So I'm thinking maybe I should, pile on advantages for now. Maybe. But I'm trying to think. Is just carrying the barrel maybe an advantage already?
Yeah, it can be, yeah.
Okay.
I would say it's either a careful or a forceful advantage. Or I can also see quick, but I leave the choice up to you.
Forceful? Yeah. Oh, he's trying to protect people. Does that count?
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
You won't get the assists yet. They happen after your turn, okay?
Oh, okay.
So you
it's
have
a 4.
+2 from your stunt. That's a 6. That's sufficient to gain 2 charges. Do you have a name for your advantage?
No. I want to think about something clever and couldn't come up with anything.
Something about... Anyone think of a pun involving wine and fires?
Flambe, I don't know. I can't think of one.
I'll just call it Flambe for now. Show&Tell, if you think of a better title, we can change it, okay?
Sure.
Okay. That is your turn. Next will be the fire, then Muninn just for this turn, because we switch things around, okay?
Yes.
The fire, let's see how much damage it does, if anything at all.
The 2 question marks are 2 different people or the same person?
I can't answer that question.
Like, why does he get a double turn then? Then I guess it's 2 people, I don't know.
Sneaky.
The fire tied with the monastery's quote-unquote defense, which means the fire gets an advantage. While I type that out, Dely, it's your turn. You see Anghel, Always Thirsty, and the horse loading up barrels to go and help. Also, Illona, do remember you're also on the scene. It's just not your turn yet, so but you can like talk and stuff if you want. Okay.
Muninn would look to Anghel like doing the right thing above board. The right thing.
Cringe.
Yeah, right. Muninn would like be a bit torn, but ultimately they would say like, fine, like, or they'd say under their breath like, oh, fine, go and help them, always be the hero or something. They would say like something along those lines. And they would like walk away and try and make themselves like I'd like to try and create an advantage to try and make myself look as inconspicuous as possible. I don't want to use this. I don't want to use a sneaky though.
By the way you're describing it is very sneaky. So unless you want to like add an addendum or something.
Yeah. How could I cleverly get away from this situation? They would probably... Do you know what? Muninn would try and... Oh, that would be horrible. But Muninn would try and... Maybe... Is there anything... Sorry?
Oh, sorry.
What did you say?
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I still didn't. What did you say?
Just never mind.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Ashen said cliffhanger.
Oh, cliffhanger. What you said, coat hanger.
Oh yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Muninn would make themselves look less conspicuous by draining... Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking in my head like, oh, they would set one of the wine barrels on fire or something. But wine isn't very flammable, so that's not very clever.
The wood it's just that it wouldn't really burn very well, if that makes sense, because yeah, there's wine in it.
No, and that would potentially frame Anghel, which is not what I want to do. I guess I'm just gonna have to
I do have an idea, but I think you guys are gonna hate it.
What is it?
Well, Muninn, give me a clever to see if Muninn would think of it.
Okay. A 3.
I guess that's sufficient because it's kind of a bad idea. Set fire to some other stuff. Make a big distraction.
But that would be a flashy, wouldn't it?
I could see flashy or clever in this situation, but it's a messed up move. So this is just me thinking out loud as maybe a suggestion that you do not have to abide by.
How
Is
about...
is Good Eye around the barrels? Like, where is Good Eye? Just
He can be wherever the hell you want. I was gonna have him loiter around the barrels unless you tell him to do something else, but if you want him to do something else, yeah.
No, not particular. I'm just wondering. Okay.
I think I made my decision, by the way. And I'm not sure how well this will work. So I'm thinking the only flammable object I have is my spear. So I'm thinking maybe I will use the spear to set other things on fire, because that's not a terrible idea. I mean, it is, but it's not, you know, like it's an awful idea, but it's also like kind of clever.
Sure. So this is, in terms of game mechanics, you attempting to create an advantage that would perhaps help you escape, correct?
Yeah, and like shift the blame not to, like, away from the party.
Then please give me either flashy, clever, or sneaky, your choice.
I would like clever. Let me just double check something.
Also, what are you setting on fire? Can you like ping on the map what specifically? Like a building, a tree? What are you thinking of?
Whatever's flammable, like maybe a tree, that one, maybe like one of the houses next to the monastery, maybe. Like
Sure.
maybe not a house, I don't know. Just any. Yeah, do you know what? Why not? Let's do a house.
Lovely. Sure. Do give me the dice roll.
Okay. Oh no, I got a 2.
This is starting to feel like a pretty bad idea. I don't think it's sufficient to create your advantage, but you do set the fire.
Okay.
I would propose maybe Muninn you roll sneaky and Anghel and Illona roll carefuls, but you guys can also discuss among yourselves if Muninn would be noticed or not. Again, me asking for the dice roll is not mandatory because it's player and player stuff.
I wouldn't mind rolling. To be honest, I wouldn't mind rolling, but I mean, if you'd prefer to discuss it, I don't mind either. Like, would Anghel be preoccupied, like, or would
Yeah, I mean, is it behind him? Maybe he doesn't notice.
It's funnily enough, Muninn would kind of be in front of you with what they said they would be burning.
Okay.
Oh,
So
like they made it.
Yeah.
So
Like I guess he is carrying a barrel. I guess. Made it slow.
In that case, either you see me doing it immediately, or we can roll.
Ashen, what do you think? Because you're also party to perhaps seeing Muninn be a vandal or not, an arsonist rather.
Oof. Yeah, tough question.
It would be. Sorry, go on.
Go ahead. I think you had more to say than I.
I was just going to say it's suspicious that all of a sudden other buildings are being set on fire. But to be fair, fire is known to spread on its own. So
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit counterintuitive, but also I see it. You know,
what Muninn is doing? You mean?
not like fire to the fire. You know.
All right.
I don't know. I can't help with this one.
Should we roll? Because that's the most like we'll let fate decide like kind of decision.
Funnily enough, Muninn sneaky is the same as your guys' careful, so it would be like very, very fair.
Okay, let's go. I think that's fair.
All right, cool. I got a 2.
A 0. Okay, so Anghel didn't notice I was right in front of him.
Fair enough.
I roll careful too. Yeah?
Yes. If you want to, obviously.
Ho-ho.
Oh.
Anghel is too busy being a hero, as always. Illona, as you're contemplating avenues of escape, I don't think Aboard Muninn has shared, or maybe they have that they should run. Yeah, that they should run into the forest. But anyway, you do see Muninn setting additional fires. Okay. So looking at the initiative order. Yeah, that's the end of this round. So, at the start of the next round, anyone who'd be in the immediate vicinity of the scriptorium, so Anghel and Muninn so far, you would all of a sudden feel this very sudden dry heat. Not quite as intense as during the Koraband fight, but not very far off either. Illona, since you're a bit farther away, it does almost look like the rays of the sun are specifically shining on this particular building. Feel free to connect the dots in Ilona's mind if you want. A bit of above board information, the fire will get a +1 from now on.
Ooh.
Oh no. Here we go.
Illona, it's your turn.
I don't think she would question Muninn just yet. She should just be a bit baffled at, realizing that this is very intentional.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Whoops! I just got my spear and got fire. Yes.
Sorry, Ashen, go ahead, but I forgot there is one NPC that might notice Muninn, and I'll have to roll for them. Good Eye.
Oh.
Oh, damn. I would be really impressed if Good Eye didn't notice me.
Just barely, but he did.
Yeah.
I think Illona would start to get out of there even more. She would probably, like, half jog. This is like bad news, you know?
Any particular direction?
Not really. Like the one we're heading in, I guess.
I'm not sure which that is. Because I think Muninn mentioned, oh yeah, let's go into the woods, but the woods surround this place, so that's kind of vague. So I guess, Ashen, the initiative is yours. Which direction you guys flee in?
Yahoo! I will drag and drop my little token.
Yes, please.
I go there. Maybe that's a bit too far, but like in that direction.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You would probably see at the end of your turn Rebob casually making his way on the road, not noticing that something's wrong. Okay, that's your turn, Illona. Obviously, you can still do like in-game stuff. You can skip your turn. The choice is entirely yours.
Okay, I think for now I use movement. I don't really. Maybe I can make some like speed advantage as well, having like a bit of.
Sure.
What's it called when you have a head start? A head start, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then give me a quick, please.
Oh.
That is sufficient. Do you have a name for your advantage?
Sonic.
Sure.
I am speed.
All right. Anything else, or is this the end of your turn?
It's the end.
All right. Next will be something, and after that will be Rebob. I guess I'll roll Rebob's careful to see if he notices you, Illona.
Not being suspicious at all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he notices. First off, I think he'd wave in your direction. Do you respond to his wave?
Yeah, I would like give him a little wave back.
Then he would lightly jog in your direction to like meet you halfway, somewhat concerned but not very alarmed. And I guess by the end of his turn, he'd like meet you halfway and he'd say, "What's wrong?"
I'm not sure what Illona would do in this situation. I feel like a part of her would want to like kind of warn him that we're not really things went to shit and we're not welcome here anymore, like say something along those lines. And the other part is more like looking out for herself, I guess, rather than let him know. I do still think she would like, mishaps happened that back there. We have already overstayed our welcome.
Of course.
You want to get out of here too. This is bad.
All right, lead the way.
Oh fuck yeah!
Rebob's not a hero above board. But he would ask, is everyone else coming?
Yeah, I think so.
He has no reason to distrust you. Well, he does, but not in this matter, so he will follow along for now.
Wait, is above board Muninn and Anghel also joining?
Nope. Not yet, anyway.
Okay.
Alright, that was Rebob's turn. Muninn, it's your turn. You see Anghel carrying the barrels, oblivious to you. Maybe you see a certain one-eyed figure staring at you menacingly in the distance. And you see, like, just agitation among the, like, monks and villagers and slaves. What do you do on your turn?
I think I would probably I had like
Oh, I guess above board you would also have seen Illona run away and the direction she ran away.
Okay. I have a sensible answer of what I would like to do, but my when you mentioned that Good Eye meant like is seeing what I'm doing, my immediate reaction was to throw the spear into his eye like a bullseye.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was thinking like,
Actually, fuck it, I'm gonna compel you, Muninn.
that's really unhinged. That's really unhinged.
Damn.
Your is very distrusting and secretive aspect. I think it fits perfectly. No one can know what you've just done. No one. If it means jamming the spear through one eye's ugly eye, fuck it. Fuck
This
him.
is
Fuck him
diabolical.
specifically. You can decline. Obviously, you have the fate points.
I don't want to decline. Yeah, go on then. Muninn would do it.
All right.
So they would carefully aim for the eye and then throw the spear.
First of all, I've passed you the fate point along. That's by the way, I'm out of fate points now, so you can, if you discover any NPC's aspects, you can compel them for free. Well, not for free, but I have to accept. As for Good Eye, good old Good Eye, pretty far off, but it's not impossible. Can I get... I would take this as a careful or forceful attack. Show&Tell, I think above board Good Eye would be involved in the combat now.
Okay, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
I don't know how I'm gonna come back from this. So I
don't know either.
I better roll good. Oh.
Let me see how he defends.
Okay.
Above board, a Good Eye doesn't have very good stats. He has a very good careful, but not much else. Unfortunately, he decided to defend by jumping away, which is his quick, but still he manages. Your spear lands in one of the barrels, I think.
Oh no!
Could I give myself a +2?
By using a fate point?
Yeah.
What would you be invoking?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Hang on. No, that's not. Has keen eyesight. The aspect that says has keen eyesight and sense of smell. The eyesight would make their aim true. Like my aim is true. Yeah.
I agree.
Oh no!
I agree. Give me a well, are you using it to give yourself +2 or to reroll?
I would probably reroll, but I could always get worse, right? But I could always get much better. So
for context, you got 2 minuses because your careful is 3 and you got a 1. So not the worst possible roll, not the second worst possible roll, but the third worst possible roll, if that makes sense.
Excuse me, that does make sense. I'll probably re-roll them.
All right.
Okay.
Please give me a reroll.
Same outcome. If I had +2'd it.
Still sufficient to graze Good Eye. Above board Good Eye doesn't have a lot of hit points, but he can still tank like a hit or two. Deli, you do hit Good Eye, but you don't like kill him. How do you think? Where do you hit him that would be like non-lethal but still damaging?
If I was aiming for his eye, maybe like would grazing his either going into his eye but not all the way to kill him, or like if you really don't want him to be blinded, like I can see it like grazing his face or something.
Sure. Maybe not grazing, but like gashing his face.
Okay.
But yeah. You leave Good-Eye visibly wounded. The spear probably still lands in like a barrel or like the building. He stares at you in shock and outrage.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, the compel says you're going to silence him for it.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. He's standing in silence in reaction, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Could I like narratively walk towards like him?
Yeah.
Or yeah, okay. I guess Muninn would like begin walking towards him then.
Do you shall I put Good-Eye's token on the map, or is it sufficient to say it's where the barrels are?
Oh wow, that's some distance, but yeah, I mean that if that's where he's standing, then that makes sense.
Sure. Anything else to your turn, Muninn?
That's that's it. That's everything.
Well, also, a Show&Tell, would Anghel notice this? Should we do the dice roll again? What do you think?
I think so. Like,
I feel like, yeah. I feel like you should definitely either roll or like notice it straight away. Like, there's no way that you can't at least attempt to notice this.
I mean, did it sail past him? Like, how does this go? Where is Anghel at this point? Should I move my token?
I'll rearrange the tokens a little bit to like better explain where you guys are. Muninn, I'll move you like over here-ish, because that's where you where you set the new fire from. Anghel, you're like kind of here-ish carrying barrels. Make sense?
Yeah. So it sailed right past him, right? Because
I suppose it would have done.
Good-Eye is behind.
Yeah, but I do still see the possibility of like Anghel being so focused that he does not see it, but I don't want to make this decision for you.
Let's go with the roll then and see.
Okay.
Sure. Muninn sneaky versus Anghel's careful, please.
Oh.
Okay, shit.
Yeah, you see it.
I noticed.
I mean,
You know.
it would sail like right past you, let's say.
Oh shit. No, I didn't want this in a way because I don't know how to deal with it.
Sorry.
Like, Anghel like saw Muninn do it. Like it's not a question. Like he didn't just see the spear.
I'd leave that up to you two. I would assume yes, but I don't want to presume because this is like player and player interaction.
Not to
Maybe
sway,
like go ahead.
not to sway your opinion. Muninn's the only one with the spear.
That's true. I was just thinking like that you didn't exactly see what it was or something.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. I mean, the spear was flaming, so like, if Anghel saw that a flaming spear, like if he noticed that like it was the flaming spear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm thinking either way, he like noticed something passing by him, and then he turned and probably saw Muninn like having thrown it like in kind of like a position, a thrown position. I don't know.
I think yeah.
Pose. Shit. I guess just Anghel turns, I guess, to see what the hell. Like, I think his first thought is like, "Oh, there's an enemy behind me," or something.
Yeah.
You see not always firstly, a Good-Eye with like a visible gash on his face and him staring in shock and anger.
Yeah, and you just see me as well, like or Muninn rather. You would just see Muninn as well.
Wow.
Probably looking a bit deranged. Like if you were to look at Muninn, I'm not gonna lie.
I can imagine. I'm thinking maybe Anghel drops the barrel or something because this is like We've never crossed this line, I think.
I don't think we. Do you know what? No.
Just for the sake of unintentional comedy, let's say Always Thirsty did not notice and bumps into Anghel from behind.
Anghel barely notices anything. He's just like looking at Muninn like, who the hell are you? Like, what are you doing? Maybe he's thinking, someone possessed him or something. I don't think he can really, come to terms with this.
Well.
So I think if Anghel dropped the barrel,
Yeah.
then he can, kind of gesture at Muninn like, what are you doing? Or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if Muninn can see it, because if they're deranged, I don't know. Like,
Tunnel vision, all that, yeah.
Yeah, tunnel vision. I think Muninn would be tunnel vision, and like they could be. I mean, this isn't to say that Anghel can't garner their attention, but at the moment, yeah, like Muninn doesn't see.
Yeah, I don't think. Wow, I don't know.
Also,
I know what he does.
Just as a reminder, it's not your turn yet, Show and Tell, so we can like give you a bit of time to think while the
Yeah, I was just thinking in terms of like how he reacts, but
yeah.
Yeah, sure. I guess he's just in shock right now. I don't know. We can leave it.
Shock is an appropriate reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on your turn, Muninn?
Oh, is it still my turn? No, I think that's it. I'm just walking towards Good Eye with intent.
Oh my god.
All right. Next, some stuff will happen, and for the fire, let's see how much damage it does. Uh, 3 points of damage to like the monastic complex, let's say. While I type that in on screen, now it's Anghel's turn.
Do we have... I'm sorry, did we cover this? Do we have like a... Like the monastery has... I don't know, health points or something? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, the monastery function, like, it doesn't take actions in this combat, but it has like the same amount of hit points as an NPC would, and it will take stress and consequences. Currently, it's taken its level 3 stress.
Okay.
And obviously, the more damage, the more actual damage and all that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anghel. Anghel, I mean, I think Muninn is going by him or something, you know? Because they're heading to... Yeah. So I think Anghel tries to kind of grab them again or something.
Okay. Are we waiting for my reaction?
I think.
Yeah, again, if it's player and player stuff, you guys decide if it's a roll or if it just happens or if it does not happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can be a mediator or an arbiter if you want, but I'd rather let you guys decide.
Okay. Well, if Anghel tried to like grab Muninn, they would probably see like the tunnel vision would like open up just slightly, maybe. Or should I roll careful for that to happen for Muninn to notice, or is there no point?
Whatever you think.
I guess just specifically regarding the tunnel vision, since I guess that kind of relates to the compel, so I guess it's kind of my call, maybe. I guess give me a careful, maybe.
Okay.
But it will not be a difficult roll, I'll say that much.
Okay. 5.
Oh yeah, you snap out of it. But you still intend on silencing the witness. It's just that you're lucid, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay. Well, now that Muninn can see past their tunnel vision, they would notice Anghel trying to approach, and they would probably try to like quickly move aside from them, from Anghel, like dodge out of the way a little bit, and then like pick up their pace towards Good Eye.
So they just like slipped.
Slip
like ignored.
Yeah. Like they're trying to slip the collar like a dog.
Okay. Then I guess Anghel at this point would just kind of give up. Like, I guess it will start dawning on him that whatever it is that's happening is actually happening.
Okay.
If you want the opinion of the intrusive thoughts in your mind, Anghel, they're kind of split. On the one hand, help put out the fire, but on the other hand, help your friend. It's a very even split.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of splits,
yes,
I kind of need to split from the team now.
Just before you do, Ashen, would Illona continue fleeing into the woods?
I think she would kind of want to see that, like, the other ones are coming as well.
Okay.
But she wouldn't. I don't really. I think she would also ask Rebob for a second opinion about that.
Rebob would just be confused and would say, "You were there. You know better than me. What's going on?"
I just don't want them to get in trouble more. So,
if you, then let's go get them. Then the mistress is mostly interested in you, but I think we should keep everyone else safe.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Okay. So Ashen, you do have to go. No worries. But since before the session you mentioned that we should run your character for the duration of the session.
Yeah. If you guys want it would be awesome.
Yeah.
Sure. But just to keep things straight, Illona's objective is currently get everyone and run away, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Duly noted. Do you want to do your shoutouts now, or should we do it in your stead?
I can do it now. I've been Ash, and you can find me on Instagram. And I'm out.
Yes, do check her out. Thank you, Ashen, for joining us.
Guys, have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.
Night, Ashen. Okay, so that's how Illona will act. I propose that we pass Illona around maybe in alphabetical order. So Dely, Show&Tell, and me, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Going back to Anghel's turn. Yeah.
Oh, how is this supposed to decide? On the one hand, I mean, I don't know. I guess Goodnight is a friend at this point.
Funnily enough, that's a good observation, by the way. I don't know how Anghel feels about him, but the intrusive thought does say, yeah, he's a friend. Not just a friend, a trusted companion.
Okay.
If it helps, you make your decision, Show&Tell. Don't be afraid to try and fuck Muninn up.
I'm super afraid of that. Oh my god.
Don't be afraid.
Can we actually have a battle between two players?
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Oh no. I don't want this. Oh my god.
I'm sorry I'm putting you through this.
It's really interesting though. Very cool that we actually got here, but wow. I kind of want to do this in a twisted way. So maybe like Angel's reasoning is like, okay, fine. He like listens to the voices, and but he also knows what. What was that for?
It sounds a bit like you're possessed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry.
I don't know if he's not exactly, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, like he listens to the inner, whatever. And also, like maybe he thinks that I need Good Eye, to battle the fire anyway. I don't know. Maybe that's a stupid reasoning. Maybe he tells always thirsty to continue. Like kind of, I don't know. Just for him to.
All right, he will do so on his turn, but he'll probably not be very effective.
Oh man. And he goes over to help Good Eye, I guess. And what he does is, oh god, I guess he can he kind of forcefully tug at the cloak to stop Muninn from advancing, basically?
Yeah.
Is that an attack?
Again, when it comes to player and player stuff, I can be a mediator or an arbiter, but I would rather let you guys decide. But of course you can defer to my opinion, it's just that I'd rather you guys decide.
Yeah. I think you should. That's what you want to do. I think you should try that.
Want is a strong word.
Yeah.
Oh god, are we gonna oh, this is weird. Okay, fine, let's do it. Let's just do it.
Okay.
It's an attack, I guess.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
And how does Muninn defend?
Muninn would defend by quickly moving out, dodging out the way again, evading Anghel's pursuit.
Okay, sounds like a forceful attack versus a quick defense.
And with a +2 because it's defending Good Eye?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense actually.
Okay.
I will arbitrate on the dice rolls themselves. Just putting it there.
Okay.
It's an 8, I guess.
Well done.
How do you take 7 points of damage, Muninn?
Damn.
Oh my god.
And Show&Tell, what does Anghel do to beat the crap out of Muninn?
I think he just grabs his cloak and I guess turns him around very forcefully. I don't know.
Yeah. I would like to answer your question. If it was 7 points of damage, I would take level 3 stress, level 2 stress, and level 2 consequence.
Very well. Show&Tell, what's the level 2 consequence you inflict on Muninn? A level 2 is again something not very significant that will probably go away at the end.
Maybe a crick in the neck or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Like whiplash.
Yeah.
Not quite my tempo.
All right. That was your turn, Show&Tell, in terms of game mechanics, but do you do anything else narratively?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Always Firsty's turn. He'll attempt to combat the fire. Let's see how that goes.
Oh god.
Oh, funnily enough, he ties with the fire. Okay.
Yeah, goes thirsty. Does that give advantage to?
Yes, it's an advantage for always Thirsty. Liquid defense, I'll call it.
Yeah!
That's what it is.
Gogo is thirsty. He do be thirsty, though.
As for Good Eye's turn, he will probably spend it. Anghel giving you an assist, maybe by you especially feel the need to protect him, I guess, as he just stands there kind of like almost innocently, but that's how he will spend his turn, giving you an assist, okay?
Okay.
And I just realized that's not 7 points of damage, that's 9 points of damage, because Anghel had 2 assists.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Fuck. Anghel really is like not a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, especially when he's angry.
No, he is a force to be reckoned with. Like, he's not someone you should be reckoning with, is what I meant.
Yeah.
So, how instead of 7, how do you take 9 points of damage, Deli?
Could I, instead of my level 2 consequence, could I do my level 4? Like,
yeah.
Is that...
Yeah.
Okay.
And Show&Tell, what's the level 4 consequence? Again, the level 4 is something like an injury that will like stick around for a while, but it's not super severe. It can also be like mental, like stress related or like mental pressure related, not necessarily physical, but up to you.
Yeah, I think it should be physical from this attack at least.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. Well, like, I agree, is what I mean.
Like, what could happen if you pull at someone's cloak very hard?
You know that thing that happens when like you get into a traffic accident and you feel fine at first, but then you like have like severe neck pain. I don't know what it's called.
Whiplash.
Yeah, that's whiplash.
Oh yeah.
Does it count as like more?
I would say so, but I leave the choice up to you.
Yeah, let's go with it. Sure. I think he deleted the what is it called? Like parentheses?
The bracket, yeah. You know,
the bracket, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. That was Angel's turn. That was also always Firsty's turn and Good Eye's turn. So Anghel, now you have 1 assist for your next round, not 2. Either way. Top of the round. Now everyone would notice a strong wind blowing from the north. And again, it's odd that this wind is cold. Like, you feel chilly, almost like it's winter when this wind blows. But because you're in this like dry solar heat emanated by Acacius, you do feel hot. Which is a pretty bizarre experience, but it is what it is.
Okay.
Deli, you go first to pilot Illona. If with the like order we established. What would Illona do?
Okay. If Illona's trying to help, sorry if I'm misremembering. If Illona's trying to help everyone get out of the town or like the village or something.
Yeah, Ashen said that Illona's priority is to like gather up like the rest of the party and after gathering them, leave.
For fear of like putting myself at a disadvantage, meaning Muninn, I think maybe Illona would probably try like go to the first like member of the posse that she sees, maybe either Always Thirsty or Good Eye or the horse.
Illona would, the first member would be Good Eye, which she would immediately notice that he's wounded.
Yeah, in that case, she would probably, Illona would probably try and like help Good Eye up and like give like gameplay wise, like maybe make an advantage, like so she would try and help Good Eye up and like probably bring him to his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that he's on the floor. I can't remember if he is or not.
Let's say, yeah, we can have that happen, yeah.
Okay. And if she's making an assist for herself, like, although she can make an assist that Good Eye can use, right?
Yeah, she can spend, if you want, she can spend her turn giving Good Eye an assist.
I mean,
there's something really like kind of mixed about kind of playing Illona against yourself or something.
it's strange, isn't it? Yeah, I don't want to like. I don't want to put myself at a disadvantage, but I also don't want to cheat and just say, "Oh yeah, Illona stabs Goodeye." You know?
Yeah, I think Illona stabbing Goodeye is not in character, but
No, and it's not fair either because it's like Ashen will be like, "What the hell? Why did you do that?"
I think she would love it either way, but
Yeah. Either way,
I guess if you want to like to not entirely sabotage yourself, Deli, maybe Illona thinks of Anghel and Muninn as her friends first, and then Anghel's posse second, if that makes sense.
that does make sense. Although, I don't want to. Again, I don't want to feel like I'm cheating. I feel like giving Goodeye an assist by helping him up. I feel like that's quite. I feel like that works. You know.
All right. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, because of the wind blowing, the fire gets another assist.
Okay.
All
oh
right.
yeah.
That is Illona's turn. As she helps Goodeye up, Goodeye will tell Illona, "Do you see that?" Pointing to the north.
Who's role playing Illona? Is it me because I played Illona?
It's your turn to do so.
Okay. What? See what?
There's
And
a face.
a face? I can't see anything.
He says my face.
Oh, my face. Sorry. I thought he was like. I thought he was.
Face, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was seeing Acacius's face in the light or something. But anyway, that would be crazy. So, are you okay? Like, what can I? That's a pretty bad wound. What can I do?
Just stop that mad one, please. Pointing vaguely in Muninn's direction, but because Goodeye is wounded, I don't think Illona can tell if he's indicating Muninn, Anghel, or vice versa, someone else.
Okay.
Also, above board, Goodeye was scripted to reveal something at this point, but because he's wounded, I'm gonna delay that reveal.
Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. Illona would say, I'm not sure what Illona would say, like, maybe she would say like, okay, but we need to get you like somewhere safe. Like you're in bad shape right now.
He looks at Illona and hesitates. Says, "I won't abandon the prince if he needs me."
Do you know what Illona would say? Probably, actually, she would say like, "Oh, yeah, sorry, you'd be abandoning the prince if you were dead. Like, come on, we need to get you. We need to keep you alive."
And let's say the struggle will continue for this turn. And we'll see what happens next turn. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Rebob's turn. I guess he would show up on the scene. I guess let me move Illona and Rebob's tokens. He would... I think Rebob is a bit more perceptive and would probably notice the spear. And would probably put a hand on his sword and just stare at Muninn. What's Muninn doing, which might inform Rebob's actions?
I suppose Muninn like is trying to get away from. I suppose Muninn is reacting from
Anghel.
Anghel's like not attack but like action.
Sure.
Yeah, reeling from it, I guess you could say.
All right. He would step forward menacingly, trying to create a flashy advantage.
Ooh. Okay, don't worry.
And he does. Imposing presence, I'll call it. While I type that in, Muninn, it's your turn.
Okay. I would like to. Let me double check my No, I don't have any advantages. Muninn would probably try and get away. Is Anghel still like restraining them?
I think so.
Okay.
If you want my opinion based on the amount of damage that Anghel did, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Yeah. Muninn would try and break free from Anghel's restraints by. What's the clever way of doing this? If Anghel has Muninn's cloak, maybe Muninn can, like unlatch the like brooch that is keeping Muninn's cloak like attached to themselves. Like if that's a clever way of doing it.
Would this be an attack, an advantage?
Probably an advantage. An advantage.
Sure. My proposal would be that Muninn, you roll clever, and Anghel rolls careful to oppose and sort of establish the difficulty. What do you all think?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll roll clever. 4.
Ooh, 4.
It meets, so Muninn, you do create the advantage.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. I can't really remember. Oh, okay. So that is the turn, isn't it?
That would be your turn. What do you call your advantage?
Slip the collar. Because Muninn really did slip their collar.
I'm not sure if that's a reference or just a saying, but sure.
It's the
literally.
Same. Yeah.
Okay. Something will happen and something else will happen. Next, the fire. Okay. Let's see how the fire does in burning stuff up. Fairly well. The monastery takes 1 point of damage. Anghel.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know what like the outcome can be either that Muninn concedes, right? Or like that I concede, Anghel, I mean.
Or that you beat each other up or come to an agreement. When it's player and player, I tend to be more flexible, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe Anghel can be like, kind of gesture forcefully, stop this or something, in a forceful way, like in a forceful attack. I don't.
Okay.
Does that sound forceful? I don't know. Did I say forceful enough?
Yeah, if you want my like arbitration, yeah, I'd take it as a forceful attack because combat doesn't necessarily have to be physical. It can also be mental, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
So what you trying to do?
I think Anghel was trying to intimidate Muninn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Muninn would to defend. I don't know. Muninn would I don't know how this would be interpreted, like ignoring Anghel and focusing their gaze like on Good Eye. I don't know what kind of stat that would.
I would say that's forceful because you're forcing yourself to like ignore the very ominous presence next to you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
would quickening their pace and running to back and like running towards like Goodeye, like would that
Yes,
count
that would
as...
be a quick defense, yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
So, Show&Tell, I suppose, could you give me a forceful, and Deli, can you give me a quick?
Yes.
Yeah, it's with 1 assist and 2.
Yep.
Possible.
Okay. Oh my god! You're killing me here.
So how do you take 7 more damage, Deli?
Okay. I guess I'm out of the fight. Am I not? Oh no, I'm not. Okay, so I can't remember what I've taken in terms of.
You can look at the screen.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm nearly out of the fight. I will take my level 6 and then my level 1. Sorry, level 6 consequence, level 1 stress.
Yep. Show&Tell, do you have a name for the level 6 consequence? Again, this is a 6 is something crippling, like debilitating potentially.
Okay, like I want to convey something like, Muninn is not gonna cross Anghel again, but I don't know how to.
I mean, for context, Muninn's last, I think it was their last level 6 consequence was when their arm got petrified. So think of something very damaging.
Wow, I don't know. Like what happens to you when you're scared of someone? I don't know. Like actually scared of Anghel.
This is just a suggestion. Deli,
yeah.
it kind of indirectly reminds me of some parts of Muninn's backstory when they had to deal with an intimidating person. Maybe it triggers like a sort of PTSD moment.
I'm totally up for that. Yes.
Oh damn! Now I feel bad. Wow.
But
so
yeah,
PTSD.
That's a suggestion. And Deli, just a suggestion, I should add. Deli, also feel free to elaborate or not on what we're talking about. Entirely up to you.
I'm totally up for elaborating. I need to refresh my own brain because I'm not entirely sure what you could be referring to.
I'll message you in private.
Okay, thank you. I like how you know my lore. I like how you know Muninn's lore better than I do. I can't even. Yeah, you know what? That message would be fab because I can't even find like Muninn's lore sheet or anywhere.
Did you see I sent you the message.
Okay. I thought, yeah, fair enough. I thought that's what you were talking about. Or at least I had an idea. Yeah, definitely. I guess like
with that in mind, you can also suggest your own consequence, I guess.
Yeah. But I guess what like a suggestion for a name in terms of like for a name like
yes, though it would be Show&Tell's final decision.
Yeah. Like bad I want it to be a little bit more poetic than bad father, but like I don't know.
Oh shit!
Like daddy issues. I don't know.
Daddy.
Maybe like. Do you know what? I'm not sure. Let me think on it. But it's something like that, like daddy issues.
Triggered.
Synonyms for bad.
I love that you're googling that. Again, Show&Tell has the final call.
Yeah. It could be called like father figure or something. Like I don't know.
Like, it doesn't sound intimidating on its own. Like,
Right. But it's the backstory that makes it,
yeah.
you know?
I'd say the fact that it's a level 6 consequence makes it quite telling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Alright, you know
Anghel is really big and intimidating, like a father figure. Or like, at least like a bad father figure, anyway.
Oh, that's so sad. Okay. Like, I don't know how the relationship will recover from this, but okay. I guess the father figure then. Let's go.
All right. I have typed that in. What happens narratively? Like, again, the attempt was Anghel signs stop and looks intimidating. Muninn attempted to run away, but obviously they didn't. What now? Narratively.
Maybe I'm just like, what are you doing? You're saying to him again. Like, but this time he's like not like he's more angry.
Yeah.
Than
Muninn would like look back to Anghel, maybe to say something like maybe to say something, and then they would like look at his like really like all of a sudden all of those like hero moments that Anghel has been directing towards like their enemies and stuff, like that is all of a sudden being directed to Muninn.
Yeah.
And that is like enough for them to feel intimidated, so they just look at Anghel like rather than like running towards, they look scared, and rather than running towards Goodeye, like it's almost like they're running backwards or like at least moving backwards away from Anghel. And like, but like they would stop, I guess, for a second. Because obviously the whole point of this is that Muninn stops moving, I suppose. Like, Muninn would stop for a second and, like, they would be intimidated and they would be like, oh my god, what do I do?
I mean, the point is that they just don't attack Goodeye, basically.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Anghel, you see very uncharacteristic, pure horror in Muninn's eyes.
Yeah. I think Anghel's a little taken aback by that. Like, he's suddenly like, oh shit, like,
yeah,
like that makes him, I guess, lose his intensity a little.
All right. Anything else on your turn, Show&Tell?
I don't think so, no.
All right.
For now.
Always thirsty will continue trying to combat the flames. I don't have high hopes, but we'll see.
You can do it.
The flames at this point are a raging inferno, and they gain an advantage.
Okay, yeah, he really needs help.
You hear Always Thirsty's voice. I'm not really that strong to pour a lot of the wine, like in one go.
Yeah, Anghel turns for them, I guess. Also, the horse like doesn't do anything, right? Like it doesn't.
I forgot that he is in the combat. That's entirely my bad, and thank you for pointing that out, Show&Tell. For simplicity's sake, let's say that the horse skipped his turn so far. Makes sense? And for now, I guess he will assist Always Thirsty, which would still mean the same thing, that the fire gets an advantage because it's a 2 instead of a 5, but yeah, over 1, but yeah.
Okay.
As for their turn, the horse will continue assisting Always Thirsty, fuck. Always Thirsty did their turn. Goodeye will I think he'll continue assisting Anghel by being pitiful, I guess.
Yeah.
And it works every time.
Top of the round, the northern glacial wind starts blowing even stronger, and thus helps the fire spread more. The fire now has 3 assists. Top of the round, Illona, show and tell it's your turn to pilot her.
Oh wow. Okay. So Illona is by Good Eye, right? And Rebob.
Yep.
And did she see what was going on? Like
With Anghel and Muninn, I would say so, yeah.
oh no, I don't know what she'll do.
It's tough, isn't it? Do you know what? Like playing another character, like Teeironor, hats off to you. Like fair play to you, Teeironor. I feel like playing another person's character is tough.
Definitely, but also it's the fact that I'm Anghel.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you want, I'll post like something in Discord because Illona has a bunch of stunts that you guys can use, and I'll post that in Discord as a reminder.
Yeah, I know she can escape. That's that one I remember, and also silently kill, right?
Yep. You are correct.
But who's she gonna kill?
Not me. Nah, I mean, do what you want, but...
No. She would never do that.
She might.
I just noticed must have been the win would have been real useful for Muninn.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Must have been the wind. I'd be balling.
Okay, so maybe Illona, I feel like Illona doesn't want to get in between that, though. Either she will try to calm them both down, or she will just be like, shit, I'm not getting involved.
To be fair, from Illona's perspective, it doesn't look like there's violence between Anghel and Muninn, because this is, all the damage Muninn has suffered has been mostly psychological.
Okay.
That's true.
But she can see, Anghel was very frightening. The question is if, I think, well, at least to Muninn, but...
Yeah.
But, I wonder if Illona can sense that, or maybe not at all.
I don't know if this is up to me to say, but I mean, if I guess if Illona looked at Muninn, they would notice that Muninn is petrified. Or I don't know if petrified is the word, but they're definitely they are scared, and they look like yeah, they look like, oh my god, not again, kind of fear,
Oh shit! Oh, it's so bad. Okay.
You guys can hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe if she sees that, maybe she will feel like... I don't know if she realized that what Muninn did at this point. Now, maybe she will feel like, oh... Maybe she will try to, go to Anghel and calm him down. Will she? I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
Get a little closer, not all the way to them, maybe. And just be maybe try to distract Anghel or something. Say, are you guys coming? I don't know. Can that be...
I think that makes sense, especially since Ashen said Illona's priority is to get everyone out of there.
Yeah, definitely, actually.
So that... I guess that could be...
If you want... Do you want my suggestion?
Sure.
Maybe an advantage towards calming things down?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
I would say that's either careful or flashy, and oh yeah, I should roll for Illona because I have her macros.
So you decide?
I picked the highest one, and she fails anyway.
Okay.
She comes in between Anghel and Muninn, like all determined to mom them around. Like, are you guys coming or not? But then she sees Anghel being surprisingly intimidated and Muninn looking like a beaten child almost, and she involuntarily takes a step back before she can say anything. I think. What do you say, Show&Tell? Do you agree with me?
I think Anghel was a little bit like taken aback himself by the fact that Muninn was scared of him so much. So I don't know if he's still as intimidating, but I mean, looking at Muninn, I think is enough to make people.
That makes sense.
Noted. All right. That was Illona. Next something will happen. And then Rebob, on his turn, he'll try to create a flashy advantage to diffuse the situation by pulling out his pistol and shooting in the air.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Go Rebob.
Yeah.
I don't know. His side is on, but...
The fire kind of drowns out the sound, but it's just enough to create an advantage.
Okay.
I'll give it another charge of imposing presence, I guess, because it relates.
Hey, Rebob.
And let's say for narrative's sake, it momentarily at least gets everyone's attention. And Rebob would say, we should depart, right? Muninn's turn.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this or not, considering Muninn's state of mind. But while Muninn is while Rebob has like, as long as Muninn has snapped out of their like almost like trance like fear, while Rebob has Muninn's so far in the deep end at this point. While taking advantage of Rebob's like distraction or call to attention, Muninn would like get up off the ground, and hang on a minute. Let me just read something. My character sheet. This is relevant. I'm not just reading like a newspaper in the background or something. Can I don't know if it's necessary. But if I was to use a stunt against a player, sorry, Show&Tell, what would happen?
What would happen is I would once again state that I can arbitrate or mediate, but I would prefer that you guys decide. But of course you can refer to my opinion if you want to.
Okay. So my plan is I'd like to use the Raven to make Anghel disoriented, because so far Anghel is fucking Muninn's like day up. Right? So it makes sense like they would use the Raven, and what would happen narratively would be like the black cloak like that they escaped from on the floor, like if it's in arm's length, within arm's length, or if it's like within a distance that they can grab it, they would grab it, and then like kind of like Batman, they would like as they like pull it towards themselves, they would like flash it in the air like Batman's cape or something, put it on, and that would like disorientate Anghel.
What does it stunt do? Like, what is Anghel supposed to, like, what does it do?
It would make you, so it makes NPCs skip their turn, but I don't know what that would do to Anghel. I'm also, do you know what? I'm also hesitant to use it because that's kind of mean to you, person. It's not meant to be, but like.
No, I it's a fair tactic, I think.
I will only say that if you guys agree that this stunt should work, and if you decide to use it, it should work as written. As in, if you use it, Anghel will skip their turn, no like half measures. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Okay, if not, if we want to make it like debuffed, if we want to debuff it, it kind of would make sense to like turn it, like convert it into a I don't know if this works or not, into an advantage, maybe. Like if you wanted to, like, instead of making you skip your turn, it would just give Muninn like an advantage, or however, I don't know. Like, does that work as well or not?
No half measures again.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's fair. It's fine. Anghel will survive.
Are you sure? Because I feel bad.
No, it's okay. I feel bad for what I'm doing to Muninn. It's fine.
Okay. Alright, I'd like to do that then.
Okay. So you quickly grab your discarded cape cloak, I guess. Flash it in Anghel's eyes. I don't know if intentionally or not. Anghel is momentarily disoriented and will skip his next turn. What does Muninn do narratively next?
Narratively, they would try and make a run for Good Eye again.
Okay.
Wow, tenacious. After all that.
I mean, a compel is in place, Show&Tell, to be fair.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay. If the compel wasn't in place, I'd probably just run away.
Dely, bad news for Show&Tell, good news for you. Your stunt is not an action. You still have your turn.
What's that?
Cool.
Wow.
Okay. I would like to very quickly throw my daggers at I can see this being quick or careful. Obviously it's your decision, Teeironor, but I could maybe like Muninn would like grab their kind of their not their fancy daggers, but they would quickly grab their normal daggers and then like just throw them towards Good Eye, like in hopes that they like the travel time is like fast.
Sure.
Sorry, I don't mean to be hamming this up, but yeah.
Sure, sounds quick or careful as an attack.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do quick, but can I use the +2 because I'm using my daggers to attack quickly?
Yeah.
Okay. There they are. Oh shit! I got an 8.
Nice.
Whoa. Dely, how do you kill Good Eye?
No! It just means that you're going to be Good Eye, though. I'm just saying.
It probably will mean that, yeah. I okay, so Muninn, so as I said, Muninn makes Anghel disoriented. They would run towards Good Eye, like sprinting like a bat out of hell. And as they like take one of their daggers, like, or both of their daggers, like in both hands, they would throw them towards Good Eye. Maybe one of them could miss, I don't know, but the one of them, the other one that kills Good Eye, is
with that good of a roll. I don't think either of your daggers miss.
Okay. In that case, one of the daggers like hits him in the eye, like straight on bullseye, and the other one like maybe like goes like stabs him like in his mouth or something. Like let's say he would like gasp or like pull his hand. It like if he like went to pull his hand up like to stop the dagger out of instinct, it would go in the hand.
Yep.
Maybe.
Ouch. Yeah.
And the other one would just go directly in his eye.
Sure.
And into his brain.
He collapses to the ground, almost instantly dead.
I'm sorry if you had massive... actually, no, I am sorry, because you had plans for Good Eye this session.
No, that's really bad. Oh my god.
I apologize.
Oh, we're doomed.
Muninn, you don't know why, but like after the killing blow lands and you feel momentary relief, you also feel like a weird chill. And probably like another like Anghel Papa flashback. Probably nothing to think about.
Oh. Okay. Muninn like will try and shrug it off, and if I can still do stuff narratively, like I would go to. Actually, yeah, this works. I think Muninn would walk towards Good Eye, or maybe like not walk, but like.
I will say narratively, above board, Rebob will attack you next turn. You see Rebob getting ready to strike you.
Okay. Well, Muninn would like move to Good Eye to like collect their daggers.
Sure. Noted. Okay. Nice stuff, everyone. Next, something will happen, and then the fire. That's 3 assists so far. Let's see how the fire does at burning things.
Oh boy.
Pretty damn well. That would mean a level 4 consequence for the monastery.
Damn.
And always thirsty runs back to you guys, clearly panicked, as the scriptorium at least is beyond saving and the fires have spread to the rest of the complex.
Oh damn! The map's changed. I feel horrible.
Shit.
I actually feel like the villain. I'm sorry, guys. Muninn doesn't. But Muninn, yeah. Muninn's not all there at the moment.
That's true.
Show and tell in lieu of your turn. Anghel like spends a bit of time like getting his bearings a bit from what happened, but I would imagine like obviously we'll skip your action, but narratively you would see Always Thirsty not Always Thirsty, Good Eye collapsing dead.
I guess Anghel will just like stare at him like, you know, just not believing that it actually happened.
Yeah. Top of the round, the wind like it's almost like a full-blown...
Just a question. Always Thirsty didn't do anything. Like
yes, neither has the horse. I did remember that mid-sentence, don't worry, but thank you for reminding me as well. Okay. Just to finish my sentence, the wind once again blows all the stronger, and almost storm-like at this point, giving the fire another assist. Always Thirsty will continue his attempts to fight it, which I think they're reaching the levels of being mathematically not impossible, but very unlikely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
The fire definitely gets another advantage with an 8 to a 0.
Oh my god!
Always Thirsty's clothes catch fire, but he does manage to put it out.
Always Thirsty.
As for the horse, it sort of gets behind you, Anghel, and like nudges you, like gives you like a soft push, sort of, you can do it, whatever it is, giving you an assist.
Yay.
I propose that maybe we do one more round and then call the session. What do you all think?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. As I mentioned, the wind gets stronger. Now it's my turn to play Illona. That's part of the reason why I said one more round, so that fair's fair. I also pilot Illona. Illona will definitely be shocked at this turn of events because she didn't see Always First to get attacked previously. This is like the first like
Good eye.
not yeah. Why do I always like mix them up? Yeah, good eye. Get attacked previously. I guess her first reaction would be to yell at Muninn, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Muninn would continue to move to Good Eye, and they would say to Illona, like, I don't even know what Muninn would say, actually. I think Muninn would probably not. Muninn would look to Illona, like, with, like, a bit of a crazed look. Like, I'm not trying to... Just to confirm, by the way, I'm not trying to, like, pretend that Muninn has gone crazy. I'm just saying, like, they are a bit unhinged right this second. But that doesn't mean that they've gone insane.
Yeah.
I think Illona would try to subdue you, Muninn, if that makes sense, by probably like kicking your feet, if that makes sense. So I guess a sneaky attack against you. How do you defend yourself?
Muninn would that's quite savage. Muninn would move their fancy dagger into where they predicted Illona would stamp.
Mm-hmm.
Not in hopes that Illona would stamp on the dagger, but in hopes that Illona would notice and then move their foot out the way.
The way you worded it, I see it either as a flashy defense or a careful defense.
I'll go with careful.
Sure.
4.
1 point of damage. I think that's sufficient to knock you out.
It is.
You do have fate points if you want.
And an advantage.
Right.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll use what was the slip the collar? I'll use slip the collar unless I have to justify it, in which case I'll just use an advantage to +2. Because I don't know how I'd justify slip the collar.
Yes, I would ask you to justify slip the collar.
Okay. Actually, do you know what? The justification is Muninn is trying. So Muninn slipped the collar earlier by getting out of a situation, which is like being restrained or whatever by Anghel. Muninn's trying to get out of getting stomped on. Muninn's trying to slip the collar. Muninn's trying to get out of a situation by doing something.
I'm not gonna spend any of Illona's fate points because she'll probably want them. But I will spend her advantage to deal the damage.
Okay. Then I will use a fate point. I would say is skilled with small daggers. Like I'm using the dagger in a way that is non-lethal.
That fits. Show&Tell, can Illona use Muninn's consequences? I'm asking because
sure.
I'm asking because I guess Illona and you are kind of on the same side right now. Kind of.
Yeah. Sure.
She'll use your whiplash. Muninn, you're slow to react.
Okay, that makes sense. I would probably... I would not use my last fate point to mitigate that, because I feel like... So you could use... Actually, yeah, no, go on, and I'll use my last fate point. And what I'll be using is... keen eyesight, Muninn would know. Will be able to see where Muninn's. Muninn would be able to see where Illona's foot is traveling with their eyes. I guess, or they would know where to put the dagger.
Makes sense to me. Show&Tell, can I use Muninn's last consequence?
Yeah, go for it.
There you have it. Muninn, I don't think there's anything else you can do unless Anghel decides to compel you and give you a fate point to mitigate that damage.
That would be a bit funny. But no, you don't have to. Show&Tell.
No, I don't want to, honestly.
Sorry.
Well, your level 2 consequence, Muninn, will be off balance, I guess, as Illona knocks your feet off from under you and you face plant into the dirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Good thing.
So what happens now, though?
Muninn's out of the fight, so they can't participate. Good thing that it was Illona who knocked you out and not Rimlen, because Rimlen was gonna stab you.
That would suck. That would suck. But yeah, thank God it was Illona.
Okay. On next turn, something happens. Rimlen's turn. I think Rimlen would pick up the unconscious Muninn and yell out at Anghel and Illona, "Let's get out of here already!"
Oh, my spear. Sorry, that wasn't supposed to...
Would Illona remember the spear? That's a good point, actually. I'll roll Illona's careful, I guess. Make sense?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nope.
I guess...
Oh, no.
I guess if no one remembers it, that is a good punishment. Like, yeah, you just killed Goodeye. Like, guess what? No spear for you.
Well, there's still...
As well as being knocked off.
Well, there's still Show&Tell's input, and perhaps the survivors of Anghel's posse may have their own input. Either way, Rimlen will spend their turn creating an advantage to prepare to get away. And they just barely do.
Hello?
Yes, I wasn't talking because I wasn't talking because I was typing.
Okay.
Next, something will happen, and next the fire will continue burning, potentially. Three points of damage to the monastery. 2 and 2 or 6, what would be better, I guess, for the monastery? Well, not...
2 and 2 I think 2 and 2, no?
I guess.
Like, whatever, as.
Yeah, sorry. Six is a little bit more... It's harder to come back from 6.
That's true, but, we lost, like, 2 points. And, well, it is what it is.
Yep. That was the fire's turn. Anghel is next. I'd also direct your attention to the map briefly.
Yeah, I see it. So I very belated.
Also, I should remove this token because that person is dead.
Oh.
That like
Anyway.
90-year-old monk. Yeah, carrying on.
So Anghel turns very belatedly to the monastery. Is there anything left? Doesn't look like there's anything left.
The fire is threatening to spread to like the church itself and like the remaining monastic complex. What little is left of it.
So Anghel, instead of like thinking about everything that just happened, he, just grabs another barrel. Is he close to the? No, he's not. Did the barrel that he dropped
I think the barrel that Anghel dropped is close enough to grab.
Okay, so he takes that and he runs over to where the fire is. And he tries to douse it out.
Give me a forceful attack. Remind me you have 1 assist from the horse, right?
Yeah. And does this count as protecting at this point?
Well, it depends. Why are you trying to douse the fire?
So no more people will die.
Okay, then it would count.
Okay. Okay, it's a 4 and plus 3, right? So it's a 7.
Let's see what the fire gets. Also a 7. So you get an advantage.
I think maybe I will use an advantage. Oh, I need to choose which advantage it is. Yeah, I guess I will add it to flambe. We left it at that.
Sure, fair enough.
And then, can I use like an advantage?
Well, before you get an advantage from this roll, from the tie, we need to resolve whether it is a tie, if that makes sense.
Right. So
you could spend advantages and fate points to deal damage, right? Instead of getting the advantage, but it's up to you.
Keyword is instead, yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Sure.
And you have a lot of fate points, I can see. Right there.
Yeah, I do. But I'm going to use the advantages first, I think. So yeah, let's use that for a +2, I guess.
1 charge of flambe. I'll use 1 charge of roaring flames, I guess.
Oh no, there are 3 of them.
That's a lot, yeah.
Then I will use another one.
I also use another one.
I'm trying to think whether... Yeah, I'll use the birthday inspiration.
Okay, I'll use my last roaring flames.
God, and then I'll use the last one. The last birthday inspiration.
Sure. That would mean you deal 2 damage to the fire, which it will take as its level 2 stress.
Damn it. This is so hopeless.
Okay, as for the horse and always thirsty, I think the horse will continue nudging you along, Anghel, as you make marginal but not insignificant progress against the fire. And always thirsty, since he was doing that anyway, instead of attacking the fire, he'll assist you, because that makes more sense in terms of teamwork. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I could have used Always Thirsty's advantage? I don't know. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, if you want to, you can. He can lend it to you.
Yeah, well, that's over.
Sure. Up to you entirely. And this is... funnily enough, when we reach this turn, I planned for this thing to happen, so I guess it's all the fitting that it's the cliffhanger for the episode.
No! Yeah.
You will see, all of you will see, as, also give me a second. You will see something or someone or multiple someones approaching from the southeast. As I put them on screen in a second. It's a very bizarre sight for Anghel and Illona, and with Muninn if they were awake. You, the players, would recognize it, but I don't think Anghel and Illona would, as ghosts coming from the graveyard.
Oh my god.
What? We would recognize it, right? What?
Show&Tell and Dely and Ashen would recognize it as such. Anghel and Illona probably would not.
As a ghost, you mean? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't think they're showing up on screen unless you guys can see them. Oh, yeah, they just did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see a few of them. Okay. I see one.
Yeah. So they are coming from the graveyard in your general direction. But what I was not expecting this combat to be 90% infighting, but there you go. So I think it's a good spot as any to end today's session. What do you all think?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, may I get everyone's thoughts on today's session?
Damn.
Sorry, everyone. It was cool. It was a cool session. I think it's sorry, it's a bit rich that this is coming from me, but it's interesting to see us like fight like each other.
Yeah, it definitely is interesting.
Yeah.
It was
yeah, and you know what? Actually, like, fair enough. Like, you know, when I said like Muninn definitely deserved that, but also like when I said something like earlier, like I said something like, oh, it's like every time Anghel has like attacked one of our like boss encounters, like an enemy or something, that is now like finally turned on Muninn, and it's like really intimidating. You know, it's like, oh shit, I forgot that this guy basically like killed a basilisk and like a load of other things, right?
An ogre, yeah.
Yeah, no, an ogre. Like, oh my god, like the basilisk slayer is actually like fighting me. Like, what, am I stupid? Obviously, that's not what Muninn's thinking, but like that. But yeah, no, it's cool to like fight each other.
Yeah, it was definitely new and kind of nerve-wracking and interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Like I think this is like, you know, because before Anghel was like, you know, Muninn was always the one that Anghel kind of relied on. You know, always helped him out, and now it's like, oh, what a betrayal.
Yeah, Muninn's really let Anghel down. When you put it like that, that's actually really heartbreaking. But yeah. No,
like
true,
Anghel had a hard time to accept it, I guess.
Yeah, it's true though. Holy shit. Wow. Compelling.
This is a dumb thing, but I just realized it's like Halloween season. The ghosts are happening. That was not intended, but it's a fun coincidence.
Oh my god, spooky
Very
ghosts! That's so cool, yeah. I love how that's turned out.
Yeah. Well, there's spooky background music, I guess. Yeah. Again, I designed this combat in mind, like assuming, okay, there might be like not everyone participating because of the compels I was planning, but I was not expecting full on fighting between you guys, pretty much like allowing the fire to win.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought that Anghel would choose to save the people? Rather than Goodeye?
Well, obviously I never thought that Muninn would attack Goodeye. Even though it was my compel, but still.
I mean, the thing is, throughout this whole time, I'm like, God damn it, I'm killing Goodeye. Teeironor must hate me. But then I'm like, well, he did compel me. Like, I suggested it, you compel me to do it, so you can't hate the idea that much. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, feel free to like I have like some obviously NPCs that I'm very attached to. You've met a handful. You've killed one of them, funnily enough. Did I shed a tear when like Muninn died, even though I had like a whole backstory for him? No, you just won't get to know it, I guess.
Oh, that's so sad.
But then you could repurpose it, maybe.
Well, technically, like, there are people related to Miron alive, like his cousins and Joseph, but that's Miron's not even in this session. Why are we talking about him?
Yeah. But it's relevant though. It's like, oh yeah, killing NPCs, like there's a price to pay.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
yeah, I don't mind paying it. You guys might, but I don't.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's interesting if it's true that Muninn turns into Good Eye now. You will become like one of the companions.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. I don't know.
I'll be compelled to like do as you say. Which in this case,
I don't have
like,
to work that way on players, though.
yeah,
I'll have to see.
I can see how that would work.
Above board, it would be if that were to happen. Sort of similar to how I push Anghel to do Prince Charming things. Like basically, Muninn, you hear like a voice in the back of your mind that this Anghel guy is real swell. But the choice would be yours.
Oh, that's so funny! Oh my god.
No, I guess we'll see what happens. You did use your like one ticket to like get someone out of the underworld, so shrug.
Like we can do it again?
I mean, never say never, I guess, but like even that one revival was very, very like I had to bargain a lot for it.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah. But
I guess we might have to talk to Ashen to paint Muninn with just one eye.
that'll be so sick. Like,
oh my god, you will actually.
Well, if it happens again, big if.
Would it be in the middle of my forehead, or or would I just have one really good eye, like normal?
I think I'm leaning towards forehead because this is a curse technically, but I don't want to. Like we will talk about it if it happens.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Well, obviously, and if Ashen agrees to draw you, etc., etc. Well, not you, Muninn. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's funny to me, like how this combat ended up, because like I had like lots of stuff planned, like, oh, where does the wind come from? Where are these ghosts coming from? And I guess we're probably never gonna find out.
Oh no.
Ayaka's doing his best now. I don't know if that will amount to anything, but we'll see.
We'll see. I think the main obstacle Show&Tell isn't Angel's prowess, but rather the fact that Illona is still compelled to not help, and then not just not help, but like get you away.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For you, admittedly, like not out of like, she's not doing it because she's bad. She's doing it for your own protection as she sees it, but still.
Yeah, it makes total sense, honestly. Anghel just has this crazy need to save people, but...
Yeah. I don't know, do you, like, a lot of stuff happened, but funnily enough, only like 5 turns of combat passed, so, yeah. Do you guys have any thoughts? Any other thoughts, I guess?
I'm not sure. I can't wait until next session.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also can't wait to. I have written down things, and I do have things in mind how Muninn can justify their like awful behavior, but like, damn. It's difficult, but yeah, I'm excited for the next session.
Sort of you guys know that meme of like the guy carrying pizzas arriving in the room that's on fire? That's Ashen next session.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny she missed all of that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What is that shit?
It's a shame she had to go early.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
I'm looking forward to her reaction when we inform her of what happened.
That she knocked Muninn out.
Yeah.
No, basically.
Yeah, we'll get to it, I guess.
Illona. Oh, Illona. Ashen, if you're watching this right now, good job in knocking me out. I deserved it.
Yeah. I honestly, because you guys were talking about, oh, I may be sad because some NPCs may die. No, I actually am kind of sad that maybe Muninn will lose their spear, because I don't want to, like, take goodies away from you guys, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that either.
Neither
I mean,
do
that was
I.
a hell of a cool spear.
It was cool, but I mean, Muninn could always go back for it at some point, and if I do never get it back, like I said earlier, like it's kind of like a fitting punishment.
Yeah, don't use your spear against your friends.
Yeah, exactly. You'll take your toys away if you don't. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
Yeah. As it goes, I suppose. Do you all have any other thoughts before we go into our shoutouts?
No.
yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Well then, dear viewers, thank you for watching and listening to us. I'll ask these people to shout themselves out. First of all, I know she has already shouted herself out, but she did it like real brief. So do check Ashen's Instagram out. She does lovely artwork and other arts and crafts stuff. And I would highly recommend her Instagram. Next, the dice say that we should see what Show&Tell is up to. So, Show&Tell, could you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you're doing?
Yes. So I'm Show&Tell, and I have a Patreon in which I react to anime mostly, also other shows though. And you can check it out if you want.
Yes, that she does. Do check it out. Lots of good shows coming out, like in this time frame that she's reacting to. So, yeah, there is that. Thank you very much, Show&Tell. Next, we would have Dely. Dely, could you please go ahead and talk about yourself and what you're doing? And I do think that the first, arguably second sentence is kind of funny given your new profile picture.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Hello, everyone. Obviously, I'm Dely, and I am a Goblin VTuber on Twitch. I'm usually a Dragon Goblin, but for this month only, or maybe not, who knows. I'm a mushroom goblin, and like that's my Halloween costume. And yeah, if you want to see spooky streams, because I'm going to be playing some like horror games and that. If you want to see some spooky streams, like come and get spooked on the link that you can see on screen. Yes,
do that. Question, did you also change your model to fit this?
I did, yeah, actually. Thank you for reminding me. I also have like a temporary, like, it's not fantastic, but I also do have like a Halloween model, yeah. That's actually a good point.
I did not know that.
Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't be underselling it. It's it's the best model that I've ever made. It's the mushroom that you can see. It's like I made a model for it, basically, so yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So do check Dely out, and they also post their schedule on their Twitter and their Discord. Also, Show&Tell does post a schedule on her Patreon on that note, and I don't really have a schedule, so I'm out of that club, I guess. But yeah, thank you very, very much, Dely. Other than that, Teeironor, I forgot to update this overlay, come to think of it. But yeah, I was your dungeon master, game master. I do this series. It's a lot of fun. I also do another series that's currently on hiatus with a different group of lovely people. That, hey, because it's on hiatus, it may be coming back soon. The hiatus is a good chance to potentially catch up to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, thank you once again, dear viewers, for watching and listening to us. We will likely be off next week, although it's not like 100% certain, but I will let you know on Twitter. More likely than not, we'll be off, but I'll let you know on Twitter and on Blue Sky. And yeah, other than that, we will see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.